Jnana Kosha, Vedas.
ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपवज्रमस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणान् ब्रह्मणस्पदानः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः
Yajurveda Upanishads, Trisiki, Brahmana Upanishad. This is the teaching of the Lord Surya to a Brahman called Trisiki, Brahmana. He clears his doubts about the definition of the body, soul, karna and yogic practice. Om, that Brahman is infinite and this universe is infinite. The infinite proceeds from the infinite, taking the infinitude of the infinite universe. It remains as the infinite Brahman alone. Om, let there be peace in me, let there be peace in my environment, let there be peace in the forces that act on me. A Brahman called Trisiki Brahmana went to the land of sun god and asked him, O God, what is body, what is soul, what is the cause and what is Atma? The sun god replied, you have to realize that all this is Shiva, because only Shiva is ever clean, who is devoid of any blemishes, and who is everywhere and for whom there is no second. He is the only one who creates everything by his light, and similar to the fire appearing in different forms on different pieces of steel, he appears in different forms. If you ask to what he gives light, the answer would be Brahman, which is denoted by the word Sat and which is merged with ignorance and illusion. That Brahman gave rise to that which is not clear. That which is not clear gave rise to Mahat great. Mahat gave rise to egoism. Egoism gave rise to 5 Tatmatras. That 5 Tatmatras gave rise to 5 Bhutas, that is earth, water, fire, air and ether. Ether is consciousness, mind, wisdom, self-will and egoism. Air is samana, udana, vayana, apana and prana, which are the airs in the body. Fire is ears, skin, eyes, tongue and nose. The concept of water is feelings of sound, touch, view, taste and smell. Earth is words, hands, legs and other physical organs. Ether, which is the concept of wisdom, is decision, behavior and self-esteem. The actions related to air are uniting, changing of places, taking, hearing and breathing. The actions related to fire are the feeling of touch, sight, taste, view and sound. These also depend on water. The actions related to earth are taking, giving, taking, going and coming. The actions of the prana matra are the organs for doing work and organs for earning wisdom. Egoism is limited to mind, brain and the will to do. The micro aspects of symbolic soul are giving place, scattering, seeing, uniting and being formed. These 12 are the aspects of philosophy, early concept of goodness and early concept of physical existence. Chandra, Brahma, directions, air, sun, Varuna, Ashwini, Devatas, divine doctors, fire, Indra, king of Devas, Upendra, Prajapati and Yama, god of earth are the gods of the organs and senses who travel like soul in these 12 aspects. From here earth came into existence, embracing one thing with the other, pervading by crisis connection step by step as the result of Panchabhutas and that have gained life. In that earth, plants, climbers, food and 4 types of pindas, body centers arose. The root sections of the body are taste, blood, flesh, fat, bones, nerves and semen. Some pindas arose because of their own interaction and some pindas arose because of the interaction of Panchabhutas in this that pinda called Anamaya area of food is in the area of the belly. In the middle of this body is the heart, which is like the lotus flower with its stalk. The gods for management, egoism, and action are in there. The seed for this is the Tamoguna Pinda, which is passion oriented and solidified, does not move or change. This is the world with its varied nature and is situated in the neck. The inside looking happy Atma is on the summit of the head and is situated in the Paramapada place. This is in its earth-like form and shines with great strength. The state of awakening is everywhere. The state of dream is also as there in the state of wakefulness. The state of sleep and the state of higher knowledge is not there in other states. Similar to the taste pervading in all parts of the good fruit, Shiva Shakti pervades everywhere. Similarly, all koshas, areas of the body, are within Anamaya kosha. Similar to the kosam is the soul. Similar to the soul is Shiva. The living being is one with feelings. Shiva is one without feeling. The koshas are the places of feelings of living being, and they give rise to states of existence. Similar to the fact that churning of water produces ripples and foam, by churning of mind several painful thoughts are produced. By performing duties, the living being becomes the slave to those duties. By forsaking them, he attains peace. He becomes one who sees the world in southern path. The living being with egoism and self-esteem is indeed Sadashiva. The living being attains that type of illusion because of his company with the ignorant soul. He attains hundreds of yonis, female reproductive organ, and stays there because of familiarity. Like a fish traveling in between the banks of a river, he keeps on traveling till he attains salvation. Over passage of time, due to the wisdom of the knowledge of the soul, he turns on the northern path and step by step goes up. When he is able to send his soul power to his head and does permanent practice of yoga, he gets wisdom. Because of wisdom, his yoga acts. Once yoga and wisdom become stable in him, he becomes a yogi. He will never be destroyed. He would see Lord Shiva in his deficiencies and will not see deficiencies in Lord Shiva. To get results of yoga, it has to be done without any other thought. Without practice, you will not succeed in yoga or wisdom. The yogi will not get the results out of these also. So, by practice of yoga, mind and soul should be controlled. The yogi should cut off the problems in yoga, similar to the cutting of material with a sharp knife. With pure knowledge of Atma, the sensory organs should be controlled. We should always meditate on Vasudeva, who is the greatest soul. Kaivalya is attained by the selected and sorted form of meditation on space and form. It is a yogi is able to meditate at least for a small time on Vasudeva while he is in the Kumbhaka stage of pranayama. The sins that he has done in 7 births will be destroyed. You have to understand that the portion from belly to the heart is the wakeful action. In the neck there exists the action of the dream. In between the jaws exists the sleep. Turiya exists in between the eyelids. That action of synthesis with Parabrahma, which is much above Turiya, exists in the skull top middle called Brahma Andhra. There in the foremost Turiya, corner of Turiya, the soul is called Vishnu. When one meditates in the very pure Paramasa, he should meditate on that Adhokshaja who shines forever with the light of crores of suns, as sitting in the lotus of his own heart. Otherwise he has to meditate on that Vishwarupa. one who is in the form of universe, who has several forms, several faces, several flanks with several ornaments, several eyes which shine like crores of sun, several colors, and who is peaceful and also very angry. All the mental preoccupations of the yogi who meditates in such a manner will be completely calmed down. That yogi who meditates on that indestructible matter which shines like God's grace in the center of the heart, on that ultimate truth which is beyond Turiya, on that sun who is the form of wisdom, which is immeasurable and unending, on that being who is like a shining lamp in a windless place, and that being who is like the shine of unpreceded gem would have salvation in this grip. To that yogi who is able to see and experience the shine of that Deva with the universal macro or micro form, or at least a small portion of him in his lotus-like heart, all the occult powers like anima would be very much within his reach. One has to understand that the realization of the universal truth of the unity of Jivatma and Paramatma, which is that I am Brahman and Brahman is me, is he, real state of Samadhi, an enlightened state of meditation, where all the thought processes are unified with God. That man becomes Brahman and he does not take another birth. The one who examines such principles with detachment becomes like a fire without wood and becomes one with himself. Since his mind and soul does not have anything to catch hold of, he becomes stable in the form of wisdom, and his soul melts like a piece of salt, and he emerges into the sea of pure consciousness. He sees the word, which is a thing of passion and magic, like a dream. In the natural state, that yogi stands without changing as him to himself and attains the nude form in his sleep and attains salvation. Om, that Brahman is infinite and this universe is infinite. That infinite proceeds from the infinite. Then, taking the infinitude of the infinite, it remains as the infinite alone. Om, let there be peace in me, let there be peace in my environment, let there be peace in the forces that act on me. Here ends the Trisiki Brahmanopanishad belonging to the Shukla Yajurveda.